Number 17. I'm going to call this the Boyd-Dowler effect. Now, you may ask, what is the Boyd-Dowler effect? And how does that affect LeBron James and Michael Jordan argument? Okay. Because I'm kind of narrowing it down to those two guys. I think, as a basketball player, Magic and Jordan and Bird are all on the same level. Okay. Now, when Magic and Bird were doing their thing, Jordan couldn't beat them. Okay. He never beat the Celtics. He never beat the Pistons when the Pistons were doing their thing. He never beat the Lakers when the Lakers were great. Okay. He only beat them when, like, he beat the Lakers in his first finals when Worthy and Byron Scott were hurt, and Magic's second best player was Vlade Divac. All right. So anyway, let me get back to where I am. So let's talk about Boyd-Dowler. Do you guys know who Boyd-Dowler is? No, you don't, right? Well, he is the receiver in the NFL that has the most rings, most championship rings. Okay. Now, Jerry Rice is universally, by everyone, considered the number one wide receiver of all time. Number one. But how is that possible? Because Boyd-Dowler has more rings than Jerry Rice does. Jerry Rice only has 3 rings. Okay. Well, nobody brings up Boyd-Dowler. Nobody even knows who the hell he is. Why? Because there's no nostalgia regarding him, and the guys who are writing the freaking books don't say it. There's probably other reasons, but my point is that they try and use a 6-0 ring thing as justification, but they never say that Kareem was just as good or better than Jordan if he's got 6 rings, or that Bill Russell has 11 rings and he's the best of all time. Never say that, right? It's the Boyd-Dowler effect. Jerry Rice is unanimously considered the greatest receiver of all time by everyone. Why? The reason is because his stats are so freaking out there, you just can't make an argument for anybody else. You just can't do it. The stats are so freaking out there. Now, some people might say that Randy Moss or Terrell Owens might be better than Jerry Rice as an individual. I don't know, but I know one thing. They didn't win the rings, and they didn't pile up the numbers that Jerry Rice piled up, and that has a lot to do with it. If you're great for longer than everybody else is great, then you are quite possibly the greatest. Okay, so if Boyd-Dowler isn't greater than Jerry Rice, then the argument of 6 rings to none is absurd. Okay, because nobody's even heard of Boyd-Dowler. Okay, Jerry Rice is the greatest because his stats are so absurdly past everyone else's that it's not even an argument. All right, and then let's go to Tom Brady, for example. Tom Brady, he's not lossless in Super Bowls. He's got 7 rings, and everybody considers him the greatest quarterback of all time, but he has 3 losses. But guess what Tom Brady did that Jordan never did? He went to another team and proved that it was him and won a ring elsewhere. Oh, like somebody else I know. A guy named LeBron James who won with different coaches, different players, different cities, different teams, different everything all the time. He wasn't reliant on the Scottie Pippens and the Phil Jacksons, the greatest coach of all time, to win rings, because Jordan proved he couldn't win anywhere else. He couldn't win without Scottie and Phil Jackson, but mainly Scottie Pippen, and we're going to get to that later on. Okay. Now, guys will make up BS criteria. Lots of them just make it up to try and cope their way through the obvious. Okay. People like Chris Broussard, who I think is honorable, and he's very accurate on most things except for the Jordan thing because of his nostalgia. But his argument is LeBron James is too ball dominant, which is freaking absurd. And LeBron has actually proved him wrong this season. He allowed Doncic and Austin Reeves to be the 1 and 2 options in a team that was 3rd or 4th in their conference. Okay. He took a step back. And he did it before. He wasn't as ball dominant with Miami, especially when they decided that they weren't going to shoot jumpers. They were just going to get to the rack and shoot a high percentage, right? So he's done it in many, many, many different ways. So that's absurd, okay? People like Skip Bayless talk about killer instinct. Killer instinct doesn't make you a great player. Killer instinct means that you just have never seen a shot that you didn't like, right? Like, nobody says Purvis Short or Vinny Microwave Johnson are the all-time greatest players ever, but guess what? They never saw a shot they didn't like. They got that killer instinct. Kobe Bryant got the killer instinct. Nobody thinks Kobe's greatest of all time. Dominique Wilkins never saw a shot he didn't like. Okay, Allen Iverson. Nobody's considered Iverson the greatest. He's got that killer instinct, right? But killer instinct doesn't mean anything except you shoot too much. That's what killer instinct means. Okay? Other BS criteria. Max Kellerman, who I respect tremendously. He is intellectually superior in the sports reporting or the sports journalism industry or whatever you want to call it. But on this particular issue, because of his nostalgia, his argument is bullshit too. It is that at their peak, right? Because you can't have the who was greater for longer because that's been over, right? The Boyd Dowler effect don't work. You can't do the rings thing, but who was greater for longer? Well, obviously LeBron. By a long shot. Okay. So Max Kellerman goes, well, it's at their peak. Jordan was better than LeBron. Like, are you joking? Okay. First of all, don't use the 6-ring thing because Jordan is literally Scottie Pippen away from having no rings. So don't give me that bullshit. Or Phil Jackson. Take your pick, but I'm certain it's Scottie because Scottie was almost as good as Jordan during that era. They might have had the 2 best players in the league at that time, right? So anyway, but at his peak, okay, at his peak, LeBron went to 8 straight finals. I didn't say the Cavaliers went to 8 straight finals. I didn't say the Cavaliers because he had Kyrie Irving the whole time, or the Heat because he had Dwayne Wade the whole time, who actually was great for 2.5 years, but the last year and a half his knees were failing already. I didn't say the team went to 8 straight finals. I said LeBron James went to 8 straight finals. Not only that, every team he left cratered through the floor. That's called value, guys. But anyway, at his peak, okay, LeBron basically has been at his peak for LeBron basically had a 16-year peak, okay? Let's be honest about that. In the finals, during that 8 straight, he averaged 30, 10, and 8, I believe. And that's with that first finals where he and Spoelstra didn't get along and he just didn't play because he didn't agree with the game plan. Okay. During those finals in 2016, I believe, he averaged more in that series, more points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks than everyone on both teams. That's pretty peaky to me. Max Kellerman. Pretty damn peaky to me, okay? One of those finals runs, he guards all 5 positions in one game. Derrick Rose was the MVP of the league, who he shouldn't have been because LeBron should have been MVP like 12 times, but we're not even going to go there. And I'm going to show you data to prove it later. But he guarded the Bulls center during that series a ton. And he also shut down Derrick Rose when he was getting hot and they had to switch LeBron on him because he was starting to take over. And guess what LeBron does? He shuts down the MVP of the NBA in that series. They go on to win it. So you tell me, Max Kellerman, what peak are we talking about? Okay. The peak where Scottie Pippen was definitely the best defensive player on the Bulls team the entire time, but Jordan got all the accolades. Talking about that peak? You talking about the peak where before Phil Jackson and Scottie Pippen showed up, Michael Jordan didn't do a damn thing? Or what peak are we talking about? Okay, so anyway, Doug Gottlieb, also another freaking hater for no reason. I don't understand why he hates LeBron, but he does. Anyway, he says LeBron is not clutch, won't take the clutch shot. Well, I've already showed you that that's BS. So let's just remove that from the argument. And then some guys were trying to say back in the day when Anthony Davis got there, they won in the bubble, that Anthony Davis was their best player, which was just absurd. Like, LeBron stirs the drink, he mixes the drink, he allowed Anthony Davis to be better. Okay, Michael Jordan, when he's on people's teams, he actually suppresses their greatness. Horace Grant was much greater than he showed when he played with the Bulls, but he had to suppress his greatness because of Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen as well. Scottie Pippen literally has done more with the Bulls without Mike than Mike ever did without Scottie Pippen. Okay, let's just understand that. We're going to talk more about Scottie Pippen later. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for now, but we'll get back to it. Love you guys.